doubt it. I think a lot of times people be doing that because that just be their new hustle.
I mean, it obviously is a hustle
It
because
gotta be.
the whole idea of when you go to another city that you have to contact somebody outside of the people that you're doing business with, to
Mm.
me is just, I think it's ludicrous, and it's another piece of a cracked and broken society.
To be honest with you, I think it's a natural thing though. You see it happen so many times where it's a normal thing to extort the people that's helping you out, the people that's supposed to be the pillars of your community. Those people are the ones that's kind of like and we can use them for our hidden agendas. We can use them to kind of get up in a way. So it's like kind of like crabs in the barrel. They always talk about that crabs in the barrel method, not saying that crabs don't supposed to be in the barrel. So they doing what anything is doing when you out of your element. They trying to get out,
Yeah, and they trying to pull you
and you
down.
the reason they gonna get out.
Yeah, but see, my thing is, it don't even seem like they trying to get out. It just seems like they trying to get in somebody's pockets.
Mm.
That's what I feel because look, you going with your people. You happy because you got invited somewhere. You got a business opportunity. Excuse me. You telling me that some bozo, some other place want me to call them up or send them an email. Hell, I don't even know how you're supposed to do it. But you got to try to find somebody to get in contact with so you'll be safe in that city. That makes no sense when you don't see major stars doing that.
I think that's
That
when
only happened in the rap culture, seemed like to me, and in the hip hop culture.
I think that's when it go hand in hand with street smarts and book smarts. Because yeah, you could be street smart and you can have that mindset of yeah, I'm finna tap in with everybody that's around and I'm finna lock in with everybody that's around and blah 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 blah. But then that book smart kind of go parallel with that. Book smart is saying, you know what, I could just go into a security firm. I could read about security firms and I can go
Exactly.
hire actual security guards who's MMA trained, who is EMT trained, who
Yes.
is prepared for situations that the
True.
average individual is not prepared for, who has been around gunfire, who has seen deadly situations go left. I know the narrative of we don't know how those people are going to react when situations happen is the narrative that people push out, so they'll rather have their guys that they know is around. But we've seen time after time that those are the most spontaneous individuals in the world, the
True.
individuals who don't know you, the individuals who come just off of support, just solely off support. Those individuals have a different agenda, and we've seen time after time those individuals protect the brand way better than individuals that's inside of people that you may know, friends, family, and others.
I think what that's about is you got people playing out of position.
Mm.
I don't want no certified street individual
But you
as
in a
my
position that's
bodyguard.
tough.
You gotta they playing out of position because to protect somebody, that's a profession, and I want a professional.
Mm.
I don't wanna
I
go
agree.
to the man's garage if I need surgery on my knee.
I agree.
I'm not going to a mechanic because he could fix things. He don't know how to fix knees.
I
I need
agree.
an orthopedic surgeon.
If you make a rap, you're not a rapper. I agree.
Yeah, and
I agree with that. What you're saying, pops.
yeah, a lot of times you see
That's
people
hard.
get involved with individuals that associate with the criminal element. You locking in with criminals because you going to their city, but all the time you associating with the criminal element and putting yourself around the exact same people they supposed to be protecting you from.
But it's degenerate logic though in a way because they have the mindset that if I lock in with the criminals of in this city, then I won't be harmed by the criminals in this city. And I think that they are misinformed because it's just one faction or one part of the city that you're locking in with. It's
True.
almost like choosing sides in a way. And I think it makes your situation even worse because you came just to have a good time, to enjoy your vibes, to have a
Yeah.
safe trip. But now you put yourself in something that I feel like it doesn't concern you, or something that's so out of town that you won't understand it. You couldn't understand it, and I think we've seen that happen so many times that it's like, man, time after time, when are we gonna learn that we need security? When are we gonna learn
Truth.
that we need a level 4 vest? When are we gonna learn that we can instead of going out and spending money on nice clothes, that you need that armor, you need to armor your vehicle, or if you know you like
Yeah.
that, you need to move. Like you need to get up out of a situation and say, you know what, for my friends, family, baby, and lady, or for me, Hell, if you don't love nobody else, love yourself enough to say, hey, you know what? I want to put myself on jet seats. I want to put myself in a situation where I can go walk my dog, where it's boring at, where it's nothing to do at. And some people might say, damn, that don't sound appeasing, but being grown is not fun. I don't think people think that. I think people think being grown should be fun.
I think I flip it and say when you get past a certain point, being grown is really fun because you know not to put yourself in a situation. But going back to the topic and bringing it around, street smart versus book smart, and I believe you have to be both. Avoiding knowing about the streets can only make you a soft target, but associating yourself with the people that you're trying to avoid being caught in a bad situation with is like walking into the lion's den with pork chop underwear on and laying down and going to sleep. Just because they say you safe when you come in there, so you gonna trust the criminal. You gonna trust somebody's word when there's literally a saying that says there's no honor among thieves. And you gonna trust these people's word to keep you safe. Hell, I'd rather just go on my own, keep my people with me that I know love me until I'm in a position where I can afford real security. Because that's not real security, that's extortion.
I think book smarts, people that's book smart need to be street smart. People that's street smart need to be book smart.
True.
And I think that makes it where we can understand and misunderstand this. We can have a different mindset when it comes to seeing individuals who don't look nothing like you, or having a different mindset when we see individuals who look just like you. Simply because a lot of times we can see individuals who look just like you and we'll have a problem, whether it's a black person seeing a black person, or a white person seeing a white person, or a brown person seeing a brown person. We can still have those problems when we see things that's just like us. It's just human, I feel. But we also can have that understanding and misunderstanding vibe as well, where we see a 6, you see a 9. Let's understand the misunderstandings. Let's say I'm not right, you not right. I'm not wrong, you not wrong. This is your perception, this is my perception. Opinions are like assholes, like my old man said. Excuse my
True.
French. I feel like we all have one. We should all be able to express our opinion, and be able to express our opinion unapologetically. You or unapologetically me. No matter if my opinion is different from yours or if yours is different from mine. I feel like we should say what we feel and mean what we say.
I agree. I also think that when people look at street smarts, we shouldn't associate that term with being a criminal.
I like that.
We should associate that term with understanding what's going on in your area, what's going on outside of your house, what type of values are people outside of your home holding, how are they moving outside. Because see, we can hide our kids, we can hide ourselves behind locked doors and picket fences, but when you go out in the world, you need to know what that writing on the wall means.
So let's not call it street smarts. Let's call it I am Rice's rules.
Rice's rules then.
That's just what it is, and let's take that out.
And I like how you associated that, because Rice's rules come from being book smart and street smart.
For sure.
I mean, I always had great grades, 28 on my ACT. I always was a kid that was smart. As I got older, yeah, I was involved in the streets, so I learned about the streets in every way, shape, and form. No jail record or anything like that, thank God. But at the end of the day, it educated me to know that, you are in trouble if you are only book smart, and you are in deep trouble if you only street smart. They go hand in hand. And without one, it's like having a nice car with no tires on it.
Or no gas in it, or putting 87 in a car that takes 93.
Yeah, it's gonna run bad.
Or a bridge that don't have the right balance beams under it to support it. I think
It ain't gonna stand up.
Yeah, you running on unstable foundations when you don't have both of those things kind of going hand in hand and running parallel with each other. I think those things are important, and I think those things kind of go with that emotional intelligence. And all of these things that we speaking on, I feel like it's all passed down. I feel like everything is game that's passed down. The game got messed up when people said it's to be sold and not to be told. No, it's to be told and not to be sold.
You need to get that away.
Because at this time right now, that game should be free.
Yeah.
Game should be free like it was back in the day, where that where that old bull can tell you, hey, young boy, you going the wrong way. Hey, where that old bull can see that young boy skipping school and say, hey,
what you doing out of school, boy?
I ain't finna take you to your mama crib, but we are finna take you to the school versus putting you on the block. Like those those old heads need to come back, and I think that's what will make the world look good again. Where if we can have the old heads back, where we can have the old heads back that really pushed out love, whether it was the OGs, whether it was the grandmas, whether it was the dads, whether it was the
True.
grandmas, the grandpas, the people who really pushed out love on their foundations. Those are the individuals that we lack right now, because those individuals are gone for some reason. They not around.
I'm gonna tell you what we do somehow in our culture. We started to glorify everybody that went to prison and came home.
Man,
We decided to make everybody that went to prison and came home into stars.
wow.
We decided to make everybody who talks negative about women or men or about racial situations or about politics, we decided to make them the stars. So that gives our kids only a limited amount of substance to look up to draw from, and to learn, because it floods the internet. And if all they see is negativity, and that's what mama watch, that's what daddy watch, that's what uncle watch, that's what granny watch, well, how you expect positive situations when you go outside? All they ever got was negative?
Well, I'll be honest with you. A lot of times people don't have other reasons to follow different things, but I'll give you a few. I think you should glorify people who put themselves in bigger situations and better situations that came from the same circumstances as you.
I like
think
that.
you should value the individuals who came from nothing and became that rose out the concrete, like you could be.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times people think about their trials and tribulations and their circumstances and situations, and they kind of get lost in their sauce. Not looking at it like, damn, hey, I cried about not having no shoes until I meet the dudes and women who walk with no shoes at all, or
Yeah.
the ones who don't got no feet, or
No.
the ones who's amputee at the kneecaps.
Yeah,
They
things
just-
could always be worse.
Yeah, but they just appreciative of life. I think a lot of times we need to look at our cup and say, okay, well, before I give anybody something out of my cup, let me make sure my cup is overflowing, and then everything that's overflowing is for you.
You know, we look at big cities like Chicago, Atlanta, Houston, New York. We look at cities and states, and we forget about the other states like Omaha, Nebraska.
Truth.
You know, that's a city that, hell, they raising hell out there. You could go to Tulsa, Oklahoma. I mean, you could go to Phoenix, Arizona. And we have to understand that it's a collective consciousness. It's not just music. It's not just a couple single parents. It's a collective consciousness, a group that have decided, you know what, I'm just going to live my life till it's over with. And you know, whatever these damn kids do, they're going to do. And that's that.
Man.
And that ain't it.
Man,
That ain't it.
hey, I think at this point in time, I can't say give them away, because they might be put in a worse situation than what it is, but I would say, man, just strap up.
Yeah,
I think
most
that's
of our problems come from that, because
Yeah.
most of our problems is we have babies by people and then get to know them.
Man, you
We
don't
have
know this
babies by
lady.
people and then we get to know them. You have babies by men and then we get to know
You
them.
don't even know him.
A lot of our problems, most of our problems are because we
Oh,
did it
shit.
to ourselves. We did it to ourselves. Our degenerate logic, our bad decision making, our lack of coaching, our lack of patience and emotional intelligence. We did it to ourselves. And then that's why we so accepting to see fools that jump on the internet and tell you just anything, say the wildest things. They just probe around and look for people that's doing good and try to pull them down. And I don't think that's what it's about. If we want to get a culture of people building each other up, we got to start with ourselves, with our kids, with our family, with our friends. We got to build them up first.
I think a lot of times people hate the things that they want to become, and it's kind of weird in a way, because
No, it's real.
I think you should aspire to be those things. I think you should go for those things. But if you see somebody who has that Bentley that you want, they, instead of being that person, damn, that's a raw car. That, hey, bro, salute. I like your car. They'll walk past and just kind of look at you. Hey, how he get that car?
And
Hey,
how can I get in it?
how can I get in it? Or damn, he must be a drug dealer. He must be something. Must be wrong.
And
with him.
that's sad.
Yeah, something must be wrong with him. Or you'll there see the firearm, a nice firearm, and say, hey, he must be the police officer. He must be an officer. Like, it's never just a, hey, let me ask you what you do, or hey, like, I like your car.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I go through that on a daily basis every time. And we live in a state where we legally carry, but every time I go to Walmart, I go to the grocery store, I go get coffee. Every time somebody say thanks for your service. Now, it would be good if they knew about Rice's rules.
For sure.
And plenty of people do.
For sure.
But a lot of these people, I have a sneaky suspicion, believe that he's a black guy, he carries a firearm, he has to be the police.
Gotta be the police.
Or a criminal. One or the other. And it's really not either.
It's the American dad or it's the American son. I feel like it's the vibe of love. It's the vibe of pure energy. We'll be the individuals that make sure you get home safe. If it all went down and we was those individuals that's on the front line for you, we'd never turn our back on you and just break bad.
You want that? Don't you want that in the room with you? Nowadays, don't you want that person in the room with you? Don't you want everybody to be that person in the room with you? I know people don't agree with that.
I do.
But I feel like I feel a lot safer in my state, in my area. I feel a lot safer because we are able to protect ourselves legally. And I think we get lost in the sauce and we look at all of these different states. I was talking to Miss Pops.
Okay.
And I say, you know what's crazy? I just walked into Starbucks and there was 7 officers in there. And we all laughed and joked. I had my firearm on me and everything else. And we all laughed and joked. I say, you know what's a shame? If I just went 1 or 2 states over and did the same thing, they would have dove on me.
And I don't, you know,
they would have dove on me.
I'm a protest you is because those officers that people perceive bad in bad neighborhoods, to me, I could be, and don't get me wrong, there are bad apples, but some of those bad officers that's perceived as bad officers aren't really bad officers.
That's not what I meant.
I know, for sure. I mean, like in a certain area.
No, what I meant is in different states, they have different laws.
For sure. You can't have firearms.
And so if I would have just been in a different state, California, New York, Illinois, if I would have been in any of those states, they would have dove on me.
What I was gonna say, Pops, was a lot of times in those areas that people paint officers to be bad, some of those areas gotta have monsters guarding monsters.
Truth.
I feel simply because you can't tell me that you don't have a monster mindset if you putting a sear on your glizzy and you making something turn into a automatic weapon that shouldn't be an automatic weapon.
Truth.
I'm a concealed carrier, potentially be a so and so forth, because I don't want to put it all out there just yet, because I already have, and you gonna know, you know, but gun instructor. I say this to say, I don't think a lot of individuals that's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, hell, even in their 20s, if you don't have the proper training, should have those things. So I feel like the people that they have policing those individuals, the people that they have over those individuals, to the people that's around that's probably not in those criminal activity, they're probably looking at it like, damn, these people are bad individuals. But for the individuals that's in those situations, I'm gonna keep saying it, it's like cops and robbers.
Yeah.
You know what you signed up for.
Yeah, true. And I think more so on my end, I look at it like, damn, how can one state be that different? That's the whole point I'm driving home, is literally like one state is that different than the other. Just because a piece of paper, for me walking in and getting coffee, if I was just in the wrong place,
now
I would have been in trouble.
Now
I would have been out of bounds.
I think it varies, because a lot of states that's around, I feel like they do respect your identification card, your CCW cards. If you go to those locations, you just got to know the lay of the land and the law of the land. I say that to say
that's risky though.
If they have the
you're in the wrong area,
if they have the credentials that we have, I feel like you have to know that when you are entering those situations, you gotta have that mindset of hands-free phone call. So make sure your Bluetooth is activated. Call your people. You gotta have that mindset of you might get pulled out the car. Don't worry about being cold. Don't hold court on the street.
True.
You might have to worry about getting bracelet up, but it's okay. A lot of times we like jewelry. We like fashionable things. So just understand, put them bracelets on. They might tell you, hey, they might put you in the back of the car It might be cold. It might feel scared. You might don't, man, whatever the case may be. Whatever the case may be. But like my old man taught me, BS. Be silent, not bullshit. Hey, be silent. Be still.
You know,
Be still. Hey, go with the waves. Make it where you make it home to your people that
yep.
love you.
Truth. Because I feel like a lot of people have never had a positive interaction with law enforcement. The same age groups you named, they have grown up and may have never had a positive interaction. Not because it's not positive officers. It's because you don't have parents that'll take them and say, "Hey, officer, would you take a picture with my kids?" You don't have parents saying that.
But you can't have a positive reaction from somebody if you pushing out negative energy. If you saying, "Man, fuck you," every which way when they drive past, what energy are you gonna get back?
But where did a kid get that energy from?
Their friends is duplicated from the music. Is out in the movies. It's everywhere you see. You see F12 everywhere. You see it everywhere. I have never seen an individual humbly go on a public platform that was at that Jay-Z level or at that whatever level, but they were street respected and they say, you know what, respect the police. If you were an individual at that level, they'll call you a sellout. They'll call you a snitch. They'll call you a narc. They'll call you weird. They'll say all type of things which way to Sunday, simply because of the narrative of pushing that, hey, you know what, we should be more in tune with the people that police our neighborhood so we can police ourselves. Let's learn the let's learn the laws. So we can police our own people. And we really don't need the police to come unless it's EMS help, unless it's fire trouble, or unless it's something that just really, really needs you guys to address as protect and serving.
I think that the mindset matters so much, and how we've allowed it to slip into the gutter. I don't even know when it happened, because it happened because we probably was involved in it. We probably was greasing the wheels to make it slip in the gutter. But I feel like, hey, these kids in our cities and our states, they savable, but literally we gotta start banding together, start saying the hell with the no snitching policy, and start talking, man, and start getting the degenerates out your neighborhood.
I got two things. I think, one, have everybody mama meet up and then have the kids come. And then two, all of the known rappers that's somebodies to those people, all of the paper that they supposed to be getting, all the bread that they supposed to be getting, all the whatever you call money, all the bread that they supposed to be getting, why not create a way that the kids can make bread and be able to make $50 a day, $100 a day? Why not be able to give kids therapy when you know for a fact, even if it wasn't their cousin, brother, lady, baby, whoever that was laying on that floor, you know they still got PTSD because you came from those same areas. Why don't you get them some therapy? Why don't you make therapy free? Why don't you make it where it's a public free therapy class where they can call a hotline and they can say, you know what, hey, I'm kind of going through it today. I don't need anxiety medicine, but I really do need a friend or somebody I could chop it up with and talk to that don't need nothing out of me, that's not going to laugh at my problems, that's not going to look at it like, man, let's self-medicate versus, hey, let's elevate so we can actually separate from the situation. Let's address it and find a solution versus being more to the problem.
But that is something that I think we believe that voting does. No. But what I believe is money is the only thing that can create those safe zones.
For sure.
Money is the only thing that can give a kid somewhere they could go where they don't feel like they're in danger. It needs to be a place where the kids can go where they could eat a hot meal and not have hot Cheetos for dinner. It needs to be that.
It make me sick when I see people hold up $20K to $1 million in cash and they say they from certain areas and they area still got what they got going on.
Abandoned houses look like Afghanistan.
If I took the words out of my mouth.
Look like Afghanistan.
How is it possible that we know for a fact that, hey, these are our circumstances and nobody want to help? It's not going to just, it takes more than one.
It does.
Like we go faster when we solo. but we go further when we lock in and go together. Let's help your community. Let's help my community. Let's help Pop's community. I feel like we all know 100 people that somebody else don't know. So if we
No
all
sugar.
locked in on the vibe of the 5-foot rule, we gonna speak to each other. If we all locked in on the vibe of, hey, it ain't gonna be a party over here and a funeral over there, so we eating lobster and steak over here, so our neighbors is still trying to eat ramen
And
noodles.
wonder why they jealous.
Or we got barbecue cooking over here. Hey, invite the neighbors over.
And
hey.
wonder why they climbing through your
We
windows.
got extras for a reason.
Come
Hey,
on.
y'all want a burger? I know y'all got little kids. Hey, the little kids want a burger?
Come on.
Hey, if the parents want a burger too, y'all can get a burger.
And not just going to drop no turkeys off on Thanksgiving. Come on,
how
man.
is the homeless gonna heat up this turkey?
Right, you giving them a froze turkey
How
on
am I gonna
Thanksgiving. They
eat
ain't
this
even got no
turkey?
crib.
Give me a turkey sandwich in a water bottle, if anything.
No sugar. I mean,
Like-
what they gonna do? Have a turkey pop?
You did that just for the people.
Yeah, for the people. You doing
that
it. You
just for
doing
the
it for the
people.
gram. You doing it for the book. You
That's
doing
cap.
it for the talk. You doing it for the
cap.
tube.
That's
But you
cap.
doing it for the views, and you doing it for you. You're not doing it for them. And that's you see that same whole lame activity in every state. You got somebody who's supposed to be the one that made it, and they giving out chickens and turkeys. Look, man, people need
your
a
chickens and
place to
turkeys.
go.
Keep your chickens and turkeys.
You know,
Keep
that
your
ain't
chickens
doing
and
nothing for them
turkeys.
people. That's one meal, one day.
Man, keep your chickens and turkeys. A lot of times, I feel like we know for a fact that we're doing bare minimum when we're doing bare minimum. We know when we could do more. We know for a fact when we done all we can. If you're an individual who could say, you know what, damn, man, it's only so much we can do, you one of those individuals who know you done all you can. If you're an individual who said, you know what, hey, to be honest with you, shit, what that got to do with me?
Man, I ain't worried about them.
they gotta do
They
with-
wasn't worried about me when I was hurting.
You one of those individuals who know you could be doing more, whether it's for your friends, family, and
True.
others, or whether it's for a business that you know you could support and take it to the next level.
True.
I feel like we literally know for a fact when we could do more or when we've done all we can.
I know this. We knew when we saw our platforms as a conglomerate swell to 300,000 followers, we knew that we was going to use our platform to change the world, even if it's by one leaf on one tree.
Google Rice D, Google Go Facebook, and it'll pop up and you'll be able to transition from platform to platform and be able to see every endeavor that we pushing out in this universe.
Because we got to make some good content. We got to have some positivity. We got to have somewhere we could go where we could talk sense, where we could talk about things that matter. Don't nobody care about your bikini. Don't nobody care about the new dance trend when you can't even go to the damn corner store in your neighborhood without having to have a Kevlar vest on.
And I'm gonna be even more real with you. I don't care about the fact that that we all feel like we gotta go off of street rules or street politics or have the mannerism of being militant.
Damn street politics.
I think for sure, 95% of the individuals that say they militant or they go off of street politics, if they had a choice to rewind and know all the friends that they lost or will be able to lose, if they had a choice to go live a different life and have the friends and family that they would have had back in those days, they would have chose something different. I feel like if you choose the same route that is chosen right now, man, that's a demonic force. That's a powerful energy that's not positive. That's a powerful energy that's not pushing out pure energy because it's so many people that's losing.
And we literally worship people that we know have taken other people's lives. We literally worship these people. I mean, it didn't just start with rap. It didn't just start right now. We could look back at football players that we seen that got off for crimes.
No knock to Ice Cube, but if they posted that Ice Cube high school photo with him with the pink jacket on with the curly hair with the blue background, I wouldn't have believed Boys in the Hood. I wouldn't have.
But they made sure you don't see that.
I wouldn't have believed the NWA movement as strong as those movements impacted individuals, because when you see those pictures and then you see the message that those individuals pushing out, you would have said, man, why didn't you just start off with movies? Like you
really an actor.
Yeah, your mindset was so elevated and so different. Why not start off with just movies where where it was that. And I mean, yeah, we got to make it in some way, but damn, I mean, pushing
To what
negativity,
end?
yeah, pushing negativity to my kids when your kid end up doing the same footsteps that you did, and you created generational wealth for your kid. I feel like, hey, at this time right now, I gotta protect my kids by saying, hey, I'm stingy with my family's energy. I'm stingy
Yeah.
with my energy. I'm
We gotta
stingy
be.
with what we give it out to and what we take it in from.
I agree
I'm
totally.
stingy with it for
You
sure.
should,
For sure.
but you should be, because at the end of the day, if you are just believing what you're shown, you would think your favorite rapper, your favorite actor, you would think that they are in the streets doing everything that they telling you to do in their music. And
Hell
they
no.
ain't doing none of it.
Cardi B had a Raw live, and everybody kind of bashed her for it, but I salute her for it for sure, for sure. She said something on the lines of when her daughter walked in, she turned off the music. It was her song, and she was like, "I'm not gonna have her listen to that."
Think about that for a second.
The person that made the song,
Ain't gonna let their own daughter listen to it.
what it, and they was like, "Well, why would you have our kids listen to it?" She said, "Well, you got to be that person for your kid. Like, you got
Feel
to be
me?
that person."
So it's that lack of care for your kids, because my kids ain't hearing that.
And I say,
That's
on
heavy.
my end, I respect it simply because at this time you gotta be that person for your kid.
I like that.
Like, you gotta be that warrior for your kid. You gotta be that frontliner for your kid. Like, you are your kid's first line of defense. Like how we'll say you your kid's first hero. You your kid's first line of defense. When they come to mom and dad for that boo boo, they gonna come to mom and dad for that heartbreak. When they come to mom and
Truth.
dad for that heartbreak, it's just gonna be the same way they come to mom and dad for that problem that they got with that bully or that person that's bothering them or
I
that
agree.
person that, hey, it's down the street that's making me feel uncomfortable. So you your kid's first line of defense, and however you react or give their reaction, I feel like that's how they gonna react to the world.
It's the truth. And I also feel like if we don't take the bull by the horns and monitor what our kids is watching, what they're ingesting, and what they're doing, it don't matter how good of a parent you are. When you in front of them, I see the kids outside. I know they don't act like that in front of their mama and daddy.
I agree.
What is it about how we teaching our kids that have our kids go outside and transform like Optimus Prime? They in front of you, and it's mama, daddy, mommy, daddy. But when they get outside, it's fuck the world. Let's be real. When they get outside, that's what it is.
Split personalities. I feel like
Or a mask they wearing.
I feel like they know that they pray and they don't want to get ate by the predators that they see outside.
You got your kids walking up in the house and they got on skull. You got a whole ski mask on. Your son, how is your son walking in your house? And I'm talking to whoever it is allowing their kids to walk in their house with their ski mask pulled down. And that's okay. It's okay if you find a ski mask in your son's book bag and it's the summertime. That's okay with you.
Whatever happened to?
That's okay, huh?
Where did you get that from? Because
Say
I remember being asked a couple of times, where did you get this from?
Yeah, where
And
the hell this come from?
And I had to ask, I had to probably say where I got it from somewhere different, but you still get that. Where did you get that from?
I'm gonna screen you. You're not gonna pull up in front of my house in no new Infinity, and I know you ain't never had a job.
I think that's
You ain't never worked.
That's a lost art that parents should bring back. That where'd you get this from? Like,
No sugar.
Whether it's a nice watch, whether it's a nice shirt, whether it's a nice car, whether it's whatever it is. Where did you get that? Because I didn't buy it for you, and I think that's going down the rabbit hole. I think room raiding is going down the rabbit hole. If you find a loaded firearm, I think, Mom, you should move.
Yeah.
Mom, you should move.
Because just confiscating it,
man, it
could
ain't
get,
it could get him hurt.
That could get him hurt.
Hey, I think you should move. I think how they put us on lockdown for in 2020, you need to implement that same type of lockdown in your house.
In your house.
In your house. The same lockdown
Your
they
house.
put us in 2020, you need to do that in your crib. And I think it need to goes without saying where you need to call the school. You need to let them know, I ain't raised my son like that, especially if you know you ain't raised your son like that. For the ones who's raising their sons like that, raising their daughters like that, shame on you.
Shame on you.
I think the biggest thing is you putting them in the water as guppies, telling them that they sharks, telling them that their teeth is sharp, telling them that they prepare for what's finna happen
Until
to
they
them,
get the belt.
until they get consumed, until they get deleted, until they get ate, until they get they find they residence is a predator's belly. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of times individuals get on the news and be the first ones showing that 8th grade graduation picture where they spent their last little dollars on them, saying that they look nice, they
He
got their
looks
hair
so
cut,
nice.
but you ain't talking about that 8th grade summer where you stopped spending money on him, where he stopped coming in when them street lights came on, and you kind of cut ties with his clothing. You kind of cut ties with them phone bills, so he missing phone bills. You kind of cut ties with.
Show the pictures
Show
with
them
the
pictures.
reefer lips.
Show them
the
pictures.
pictures
His lips
with
ain't pink no more, mama.
don't show that
Lips ain't
7th
pink
grade
no more.
pictures. Show the picture where he looks like exactly who he was the day that it happened. Lying about who your kids was is for you, mama, for you, daddy. That's for you, granny, for y'all to save face.
And
That's what that is.
It goes back to saying that, hey, you have these monstrous weapons. You trying to post them pictures because you're seeing what them weapons do to individuals, and that's why people putting bans on weapons. That's why I haven't said nothing about the ban, because I can't go against it. I can't say I fight with the ban, and I can't say I fight against the ban,
I feel
because
you.
to be honest with you, I know for a fact I'm still gonna be able to go get mine legally.
No
My
sugar.
old man's still gonna be able to get his
Lifetime.
legally. We're lifetime owners, so it doesn't affect us none whatsoever. Like, we're looking at it like we don't change anything. So when we look at it just as a whole of just putting your input in it, would that change the criminal element? You damn right it would. I think not only would it change the criminal element, it'll make criminals scared.
Yeah.
It'll make a criminal scared to know that little sear that you got on the back that you might call the SWITCH, that thing that you got on the back, those things are considered, just without a weapon, are considered a machine. They're considered
True.
a machine. So that's 10. That's 10 plus the 10 that you got for the illegal that you scratched off. And then whatever you got in there, they call it hot or cold if there's one at the top. So if it's hot, it's one at the top. And if it's cold, it ain't none at the top. So if it's hot, like how you got, so you got 10 plus that 10, then plus another 10. And we just do simple math there, where I feel like 10 plus 10 plus
And you
10
gone.
is 30. And then you can say whatever your background is, add that on to your background. And I feel like literally it's just simple math.
How is it worth it though?
I don't
How
think
is
it
it
is.
worth it? You know how my old man broke me up from ever thinking about going to jail? He told me, ain't no women for you in jail, right?
Pops.
You know you can never be around another woman. You'll never have a chance to be intimate with another woman again in jail. You know that, right? You do, and that was enough for me. And I don't understand how that's not enough for the little men out here and for the young kings out here. You telling me if ain't nothing else a good enough reason? You telling me you want to go 10, 15 years without ever being with another woman, man? If that's how you feel, bro, hey, salute to you, because we on a different page and you on a different type of time.
And you know what? I get even more real, because I don't think it's nothing realer than getting what you just said.
Yeah,
Hey, I reiterating what Pops said. I think it's nothing more real than what Pops just said.
hey, give it up if you want to, bruh. Because guess what?
I don't want to get chased around by booty bands.
Because at the end of the day, it ain't going to be fun.
For sure.
It ain't going to be fun. It ain't what you think. And guess what? Ain't none of those little things that Gold was talking about, ain't none of that in there. Ain't none of that in there.
And then on top
you
of
going to
that-
have to knuckle up with people who live in from the 80s.
They
They don't know about none of them streets y'all talking
Hey,
about.
look, this is even deep. Hey, this is deeper. Pops taught me something, adding on to everything he's saying, to all the kings. Bro, your lady is going to be dealt with. Like, and I don't mean dealt with like something bad is gonna happen to her. No, I mean her stomach is gonna stay filled. Her thoughts are gonna always be provoked, and she's always going to be around and intrigued by the next thing, because, bro, life moves on.
Yeah, she gonna get another man.
You got 47 years.
Bro, she gone.
Life moves on. You decided that, hey, you know what? I'm finna go sell woo woo. Hey, you know what? I'm finna go take dude's soul. And
Because of my guy.
Because of my guy, or because, hey, you know what? He said, F where I'm from. You don't own the crib
Or
the
your street.
Your name ain't on the street.
Bro, I could drive past none of them on the signs.
I feel like that's almost like a degenerate logic.
It is.
I
It's
think that
ignorant.
the degenerate logic of manifesting harm on others because of something that you don't own is literally why we cripple ourselves into moving forward. I think moving forward and finding progression and finding a solution is, like I said, get everybody's mom involved,
One room.
one room, have everybody come in that one room,
Bring their sons in there. The
bring
tough
their
guys.
sons, the tough guys,
In front of their mamas.
and look at your mama and tell your mama, hey, mama, I'm a killer.
I'm a soul taker.
Yeah.
That's what I do. That's
Yeah.
that's the best I'm gonna do, mama.
Look at him and
If
say
you
that.
if you that real,
I don't
sit
think
down
you
with your
would.
mama. Sit
don't
down
think
with
you
your
would.
granny. Sit down with your favorite auntie.
I delete
Sit down in
people.
front of your pastor.
Tell people you delete people.
Sit down in front of your teachers. Tell them all.
No,
because
no,
if that's
no,
what you
no,
are,
No, it gotta be just the mom.
just mama. Okay.
Just the mom.
Because it should matter to you.
You know, it's just the mom, and I'm telling you, it is going to matter because the dad you got to play macho with. Dad is the one that's is telling you to say gang gang. He's the one that's pushing you to be gang gang.
True.
He's the one that's implementing those things that made him a certain way, so
True.
you can have a certain structure to be tough and not be consumed by the things that didn't consume him. Mom is the one that's giving you that nurturing, that vibe, that feeling, that aura,
And that open
love,
door.
and that open door to say, baby, you got a chance, you got a choice, you could turn back around right now, and I won't look at you different. And that individual is more powerful than individuals think. So if mom says, look at you in your face and say, "Damn, you finna pow right here in broad daylight," if you seen mom outside in
Yeah,
front of the
your
same
mama.
dude that you was finna pow
Your
at,
mama.
I don't believe you would go with your move.
You
I
gonna
don't
go through
believe-
your own mama?
Hell no, I don't believe that. I think honestly, you gonna do what anybody would do when they see their mom in a bad situation. You gonna feel like I got to get my mom up out of here.
You gonna cut it
do
out.
Everything to get your mama up out that situation different. You can keep your y'all. I think everybody can keep their y'all. I
Yeah,
think-
no
I
sugar,
think
because your
everybody
mama
can.
in the room.
Your mama's in the room.
Your mama in the room. And
Man,
that might stop you from breaking your mama's heart.
if your mom loves you and she sees you react a certain way and she knows that this way is gonna go another way, her demeanor, no matter where she's from, it kicks into that role.
Mama bear.
It kicks into that role of automatic defense, of automatic.
She gonna get in between you and that person.
No matter what the circumstances is,
A
of her,
good mother will.
no matter what the circumstances of her.
My
That's why I
mama
said-
would, and my mama damn near 80.
And that's why I said it just needs to be the moms. The moms and grandmoms are more important than the shooter. The
I
moms
agree.
and grandmas are more important than the people that feel like they control the block by selling to the block. I feel like
I agree.
At this time right now, the narrative should go back to that because mama and grandma was the reasons why people would say, you know what, hey, I'm a spare dude.
That's the truth.
Hey, dude, spare today.
You know, people used to care if you was walking with your kids.
Truth.
People used to care if you was walking with your mama.
True.
That used to matter. Dudes wouldn't even approach girls if they was with their mama. Now people are deleting other humans from the face of the earth and don't care if mamas is outside. Mama, get your babies.
Please.
Please. We shouldn't have to put up with your babies. We shouldn't have to deal with that. I think we gonna end it on that note. Get your babies, and like Gold said, bring mama in the room. All the mamas from the worst neighborhoods
I think everybody should line up. Everybody should be
and the
able
best neighborhoods.
They should be able to come out. They should be able to see each other and hear why you are willing to go away for 25 plus years. They should hear your reason why.
Yeah.
And then the ones who did have sons that lost their life or had daughters that lost their life, they should be there too.
Yeah.
So then they could be the ones that tell you the outcome of what happens. How do you feel from it? What's the feeling from it? Because I feel like I would be lying if I said when I lost my brother, who wasn't my blood brother but my brother, I cried for 365 days. I feel like for 365 days, even in my happiest moments, I felt low. So I say that to say, a lot of times, a mother's love can heal a son's pain.
Truth. I love that. I love that. at the end of the day, it's all about love, and it ain't a chew out session, but tough love is what we need nowadays.
Sure.
All the pamsy wamsy, being nice and all sweet, damn that. It's no sugar. 2023 got to be where we step up, where you get your kids, you keep them out the streets, and we make it where mamas can walk outside to her car and not have to worry about getting peeled up out of it by a carload full of 13-year-olds. It's ridiculous. This is Each One Teach One. Alone we stand strong. If you rock with the content, give us a subscribe, like, and comment. Let us know what you think. We're going to get out of here, heading to the next platform.
Follow all platforms, all platforms, all platforms, all of them. Follow
Yes, indeed. Hey, enjoy y'all night.